Hi everybody, it is Jason and Eli, and we are on the road in LUQAS right now. We are proof editing, we are proof reading the scriptures, the Hallelujah scriptures that we are taking from the actual book, and we are bringing to a digital world, to a digital fashion. And this digital fashion will be free for everybody. And so what you're going to hear is things with periods and commas and quotes and things that wouldn't be normal reading. If you want to contribute to this project, how you can contribute to this project is read along with us. And if we make a mistake, if you hear a mistake being read by Eli that you can see on the screen that I don't pick up, then let us know in the comments, and then you can be a part of this open source Bible project. All right, Eli, how you doing?
Good.
Let's get it going.
Ready?
Yep.
Capital and, having called capital his, Talmudim together, comma, capital he gave them power and authority over all demons, comma, and to heal disease, period. Capital and, capital he, sent them to proclaim the reign of capital Elohim and to heal the sick, period. Capital and, capital he, said to them, comma, quote, capital, take not for the journey, comma, but neither staffs, nor bag, nor bread, nor silver, space as space, neither have 2 undergarments, period. Quote, capital and, whatever house you enter, stay there, comma, and go out from there, period. Quote, capital and, as for those who do not receive you, comma, when you go out of that city, comma, shake off the dust of your feet as a witness from your feet as a witness against them, period. Quotes. Capital and, going out, they went through the villages, comma, bringing the good capital news and healing everywhere, period. Capital and, capital Herodias of 2 funky East, district ruler, heard of all that was done by capital him, comma, and was perplexed, comma, because it was said by some that capital O'Connor with a funky H had been raised from the dead, period, or comma. And by some, my page slipped.
8.
And by some that capital Eliyahu with a funky E had appeared, comma, and by others that one of the old Nebiim with a funky B and the 2 eyes has risen up, period. Capital and, capital Herodias with 2 funky E's said, comma, quotes, capital O'Connor with a funky H, capital I have had, comma, but who is this of whom capital I hear such, question mark, quotes. Capital and, he was seeking to see capital him, period. Capital and, the emissaries, comma, when they had returned, comma, related to capital him all that they had done, period. Capital and, capital he took them, and they withdrew by themselves to a city called Bath with a funky E, capital Sido with a funky D, period. Capital and, when the crowds knew it, comma, they followed capital him, period. Capital and, having received them, comma, capital he was speaking to them about the reign of capital Elohim, comma, and healed those who had need of healing, period. Capital and, as the day began to decline, the 12 came and said to capital him, comma, quotes, capital, send the crowd away, comma, they going into the surrounding village and country, comma, they might lodge and get food, comma, because here we are in a lonely place, period, quotes. Capital what, capital he said to them, comma, quotes, capital you give them to eat, period, quotes. Capital and they said, comma, quotes, capital we have no more than 5 loaves and 2 fish, comma, unless we go and buy food for all these people, period, quotes. Capital 4, there were about 5,000 men, period. Capital and, capital he said to his Talmudim, comma, quotes, capital make them sit down in groups of 50, period, quotes. Capital and they did so, comma, and made them all sit down, period. Capital and, taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, comma, having looked up to the Shamaim, comma, capital he broke with a funny K, and broke them, period, or comma.
Broke and broke them.
Comma.
Did we please kill the flies?
Where's I set?
This is 16.
Capital and taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, comma, having looked up to the Shamaim, comma, capital he broke with a funny K and broke them, comma, and gave them to the Talmudim to put before the crowd, period. Capital so they all ate and were satisfied, comma, and 12 baskets of broken pieces were picked up. Of the broken pieces were picked up by them, period. Capital and it came to be, comma, as capital he was alone praying, comma, the Talmudim were with capital him, comma, and capital he asked them, comma, saying, comma, quotes, capital who do the crowd say that capital I am, question mark, quotes. Capital and they answering, comma, said, comma, quotes, capital O'Connor with a funky H, the capital Mercer, comma, but others capital Yahoo with a funky E, comma, others say that one of the old Nebiim with a funky B, apostrophe and 2 eyes has risen up, period, quotes. Capital and, capital he said to them, comma, quotes, capital and you, comma, who do you say capital I am, question mark, quotes. Capital and, capital with a funky E answering, comma, said, comma, quotes, capital Ha, apostrophe, capital Mashiach with a funky H of Yahuwah, period, quotes. Capital and, strictly warning them, comma, capital he commanded them to say this to no one, comma, saying, comma, quotes, capital D, capital Bane of the funky of capital Adam with a funky D as to suffer much, comma, and to be rejected by the elders and chief Kohanim and scribes, comma, and to be killed, comma, and to be raised on the 3rd day, period, quotes.
23.
Capital and, capital he said to them, all, comma, quotes, capital, if anyone wants to come after capital me, comma, let him die himself, comma, and take up his stake daily, comma, and follow capital me, period. Quotes, capital 4, whoever wants to save his life shall lose it, comma, but whoever loses his life for capital my sake shall save it, period. Quotes, capital 4, what is a man profit if he gains all the world, comma, and is himself destroyed or lost, question mark. Quotes, capital 4, whoever is ashamed of capital me and capital my capital words, comma, of him the capital Bane with a funky of capital Adam with a funky D shall be ashamed when capital he comes in capital his esteem, comma, and in capital his capital father apostrophe S, comma, and of the Kadesh messengers, period. Quotes, capital but truly capital I say you, comma, there are some staying here who shall not taste death at all until they see the reign of capital Elohim, colon, quotes. That's weird.
So far, so good.
Why is there a colon there?
I don't know.
Capital N came to be, comma, about 8 days after these words, comma, taking with capital him, capital Kefa, the funky E, and capital Yukon with a funky H, and capital Yahweh, apostrophe the 2 A's, and the funky B, comma, capital he went up to the mountain to pray, period. Capital N came to be, comma, as capital he prayed, comma, the appearance of capital his face changed, comma, and capital his garment radiant white, period. Capital NC, comma, 2 men were talking with capital him, comma, who were capital Moshe and capital Yahoo with a funky E, comma, who, having appeared in esteem, comma, spoke of capital his death, which capital he was about to complete at capital Jerusalem, period, capital but, capital the funky E, and those with capital him were heavy with sleep, period, capital, capital and,
Turn the fan off.
capital and, having awakened, comma, they saw capital his esteem, and the 2 men staying with capital him, period, capital and it came to be, comma, as they were parting from capital him, comma, capital the funky E said to Yehoshua, comma, quotes, capital Adonai, the funky D, comma, it is good for us to be here, period, capital and let us make 3 booths, colon, 1 for capital U, comma, 1 for Moshe, capital Moshe, comma, and 1 for capital Yahoo with a funky E, comma, quotes, not knowing what he said, period. Capital and as he was saying this, comma, a cloud came and overshadowed them, period. Capital and they were afraid as they entered the cloud, period. Capital and a voice came out of the cloud, comma, saying, comma, quotes, capital this is capital my, capital Bane with a funky E, comma, the capital beloved, capital here, capital him, exclamation mark, quotes. Capital and when the voice had spoken, comma, Joshua was found alone, period. Capital and they were silent, comma, and reported to no one in those days any of what they had seen, period. Capital and it came to be on the next day, comma, when they came down from the mountain, comma, that a large crowd met capital him, period. Capital and C, comma, a man from the crowd cried out, comma, saying, comma, quotes, capital teacher, comma, capital I beg, capital U, comma, look at my son, comma, for he is my only child, period. Quotes, capital and C, comma, a spirit seizes capital him, comma, and he suddenly cries out, comma, and convulses him, comma, with foaming, comma, and scarcely leaves him, comma, bruising him, period. Quotes, capital and capital I begged capital your Talmudium to cast it out, comma, but they were unable. But quotes, capital and Yehoshua answering, comma, said, comma, quotes, capital O generation, comma, unbelieving and corrupted, comma, how long shall capital I be with you and put up with you, question mark, capital bring your son here, period, quotes. Capital and as he was still coming, comma, the demon threw him down in convulsions, period. Capital and Yehoshua rebuked the unclean spirit, comma, and healed the child, comma, and gave him back to his father, period. Capital and they were all amazed at the greatness of capital Elohim, period. Capital and while all were marveling at all that Yehoshua did, comma, he said to capital his Talmudium, comma.
Hold on, I got the his Talmudium, comma. I got it looks like a space before Yehoshua. Does it look like it's funny. Alright. How many verses are in this one? Is this a long one?
Yeah.
This is 80?
62.
Wait, what chapter is this?
9.
Okay, and then this space before Yahushua. Alright. Before Yahushua. Okay. Let's roll.
First on?
That would be 44.
43 now?
Yeah, it's 44.
Right. Quotes, capital, lay up in your ears these words, comma, for the capital Bane of capital Adam, funky Yom Bane, funky Yom Adam, is about to be delivered into the hands of men, period. Quotes, capital, but they did not understand the saying, comma, and it was veiled from them so that they did not perceive it, period. Capital and they were afraid to ask capital him about this saying, period. Capital and a reasoning arose among them, comma, who might be the greater of them, period. Capital and Yehoshua, comma, having seen the reasoning of their heart, comma, took a little child and placed him by capital his side, comma, and said to them, comma, quotes, capital, whoever receives this little child in capital my capital name receives capital me, period. Capital and whoever receives capital me receives capital him who sent capital me, period. Capital 4, he who is least among you all, comma, he shall be great, period, quotes. capital N, capital U, comma, with a funky H answering, comma, said, comma, quotes, capital L now with a funky D, comma, we saw someone casting out demons in capital your, capital name, comma, and we forbade him because he is not follow with us, period, quotes. Capital by Yahushua said to him, comma, quotes, capital, do not forbid him, comma, for he who is not against us is for us, period, quotes. Capital and it came to be, comma, when the days of capital his taking up were being completed, comma, even capital he turned capital his face to go to capital Jerusalem, comma, and capital he sent messengers ahead of him, capital him, period. Capital and they went and entered into the village of the capital Shomerites, comma, to prepare for capital him, period. Capital and they did not receive capital him, comma, because capital his face was turned for the journey to capital Jerusalem, period. Capital and capital his, telling medium, comma, capital Yaakov with apostrophe in the 2 A's and a funky B, and capital U, comma, with a funky H, comma, seeing it said, comma, quotes, capital L, the funky D, comma, do capital U want us to command fire to come down from the Shamim and destroy them, comma, as also capital Yahoo with a funky E did, question mark, quotes. Capital but having turned, comma, capital he rebuked them and said, comma, quotes, capital you do not know of what spirit you are, comma, for the capital Bane with a funky E of capital Adam with a funky D had not come to destroy men apostrophe S lives, but to save them, period, quotes. Capital and they went on to another village, period. Capital and it came to be, comma, as they journeyed on the way, comma, that someone said to capital him, comma, quotes, capital L now the funky D, comma, capital I shall follow capital U wherever capital U go, period, quotes. Then Jehoshua said to him, comma, quotes, capital D, foxes have holes and the birds of the Shamir nest, comma, but the capital Bane of the funky E of capital Adam with the funky D has nowhere to lay capital his head, period, quotes. Capital A and capital he said to another, comma, quotes, capital follow, capital me, comma, quotes, but he said, comma, quotes, capital I don't have a funky D, comma, let me first go and bury my father, period, quotes. Capital A and Joshua said to him, comma, quotes, capital, let the dead bury their own dead, comma, but you go and announce the reign of capital Elohim, period, quotes. Capital and another also said, comma, quotes, capital I now the funky D, comma, capital I shall follow capital U, comma, but let me first say good dash bye to those in my house, period, quotes. Capital by Yahushua said to him,
What Yahushua said?
Yeah.
No, Yahushua. Woo, that was a hard one. We missed the name of the Son of the Most High. What said that?
How did we go over that and miss that?
Who went over that?
When we read it through our videos.
Well, nobody read the book. Nobody's paying attention with the book. But Yahushua. Wow, that's a bad one. Chinky. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Capital by Yahushua said to him, comma, quotes, capital no one, comma, having put his hand to the plow, comma, and looking back, comma, is fit for the reign of capital Elohim, period, quotes.
Wow. All right, let's see, where are we at? It's been 12 minutes.
That's it.
6:04, yep. Hold on. The next one is
42.
We can do this. All right, let's do this and we'll call it.
All right. Capital and after this, the capital Adon with a funky D appointed 70 others, comma, and sent them 2 by 2 ahead of capital him into every city and place where capital he, capital himself was about to go, period. Capital then, capital he said to them, comma, quotes, capital D, harvest indeed is great, comma, but the workers are few, comma, therefore pray to the capital Adon with a funky D of harvest to send out workers into capital his harvest, period. Quotes, capital go, exclamation mark, capital C, comma, capital I send you out as lambs into the midst of wolves, period. Quotes, capital do not take a purse, comma, nor a bag, comma, nor sandals, period, capital and greet no one along the way, period. Quotes, capital and whatever house you enter, comma, first say, comma, quote, peace, capital peace to this house, period, quote. Quotes, capital and if indeed a son of peace is there, comma, your peace shall rest on it, semicolon, and if not, comma, it shall return to you, period.
Alright, quotes. Dog blasted us. We got dog blasted, everyone. feel bad for us. Alright, continue on.
7.
7.
Quotes, capital and stay in the same house, comma, eating and drinking whatever with them, comma, for the laborer is worthy of his wages, period. Capital do not move from house to house, period. It just lingered.
Yeah, dog blasting.
8. Quotes, capital and into whatever city you enter, comma, and they receive you, comma, eat whatever is placed for you, comma. And heal the sick there, comma, and say to them, comma, quote, capital D, reign of capital Elohim has come near to you, period, quote. Quotes, capital and into whatever city you enter, comma, and they do not receive you, comma, go out into its streets and say, comma, quote, capital, even the dust of your city which clings to us, comma, we wipe off against you, comma, but know this, comma, that the reign of capital Elohim has come near to you, period, quote. Quotes, capital and capital I say to you that it shall be more bearable for capital Sidon with a funky D and that capital day, comma, than for that city, period. Quotes, capital woe to you, comma, capital Corazine with a funky K, exclamation mark, capital woe to you, comma, capital base with a funky E, capital Zeta with a funky D, exclamation mark, capital 4 of the miracles which were done, you had been done, capital Zor and capital Zidon with a funky D, comma, they would have repented long ago, comma, sitting in sackcloth and ashes, period. Quotes, capital but it shall be more bearable for Zor and capital Zidon with a funky D at judgment than for you, period. Quotes, capital and you, comma, capital Kephar, capital Nahum with a funky H, comma, who are exalted to the Shamaim, comma, shall be brought down to the grave, period. Quotes, capital he who hears you hears capital me, comma, he who rejects you rejects capital me, comma, and he who rejects capital me rejects capital him who sent capital me, period. Quotes. Capital and the 70 returned with joy, comma, saying, comma, quotes, capital Adonai with a funky D, comma, even the demons are subject to us in capital your capital name, period. Quotes. Capital and he said to them, comma, quotes, capital I saw capital Satan falling out of Shamaim as lightning, period. Quotes, capital C, capital I give you the authority to trample on serpents, scorpions, comma, and over all the power of the enemy, comma, and none at all shall hurt you, period. Quotes, capital but do not rejoice in this, comma, that the spirits are subject to you, comma, but rather rejoice because your names have been written in the Shamaim, period. Quotes. Capital in that hour, Yahushua exalted in the capital Ruach with a funky H and said, comma, quotes, capital I praise, capital you, comma, capital Father, comma, capital Adon with a funky D of the Shamaim and of the earth, comma, that capital you have hidden these from clever and learned ones, comma, and revealed them to children, period. Capital yes, comma, capital Father, comma, because thus it was well dash pleasing in capital your sight, period. Quotes, capital all has been delivered in capital me by capital my father, capital Father, comma, and no one knows who the capital Bane with the funky E is, comma, except the capital Father, comma, and who the capital Father is, comma, except the capital Bane with the funky E, comma, and he to whom the capital Bane was to reveal, period. Quotes. Bane had a funky E. Capital and turned to capital his, tell me, capital he said, comma, comma, separately, comma.
Wait, separately, comma?
Uh-huh.
It's got separately, period. Okay.
We were doing so well.
Yeah. So separately, comma, and then it goes to Baruch.
Mm-hmm. Quotes.
Yeah. All right. And what chapter is this?
10.
10. Okay. So what is it? Separately.
Yeah, separately, comma.
Separate. The comma.
Yep.
Quote. Okay.
Quotes, capital Baruch with a funky K, are the eyes that see what you see, comma, for capital I say to you that many Nebuchadnezzar with a funky B, apostrophe the 2 eyes, and sovereigns have wanted to see what you see, comma, and have not seen it, comma, and to hear what you hear, comma, and have not heard it, period. Quotes, capital and C, comma, a certain one learned of the capital Torah stood up, comma, trying capital him, comma, and saying, comma, quotes, capital teacher, comma, what shall capital I do to inherit everlasting Kai with a funky H, question mark, quotes. Capital and capital he said to him, comma, quotes, capital what has been written in the capital Torah, question mark, capital how do you read it, question mark, quotes. Capital and he answering comma, said, comma, quotes, capital.
No, this is all screwed. What?
No. That's how it is.
It still has an extra space though.
That is.
It says comma
space.
Comma huge space.
Okay. What happened there?
I don't know.
Yeah, because this one says it's comma space quote or quotes space quote.
Oh, but there's a quote. Okay, so there's no spaces here on the quotes. Hold on. Okay, so said. What is it?
What verse was this?
This is 27.
27. Alright, said.
So, extra spaces. So,
said, comma.
Said, comma.
Space quotes.
Quotes.
Yeah, space quotes.
Yeah, space quotes.
Space quote.
Quote. You.
Then it connects to you.
You.
Alright.
Okay, shall. Okay, hold on. And need to fix spacing thing. Okay, hold on. I'm going back. 27. All right.
Capital and he answering, comma, said, comma, or 27.
Oh, okay.
Capital and he answering, comma, said, comma, space quote, capital you shall love Yahuwah your capital Elohim with all your heart, comma, with all your being, comma, and with all your strength, comma, and with all your mind, quote, and or your neighbor as yourself, period, quote, space quotes.
Yours isn't capitalized, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, period, space, period, quote, space quotes.
Yeah, it's period space.
No, it's period, quote, space quotes.
Period, quote, space quotes. Okay, so hold on. We have it right there. So yourself, what was it?
Period, quote.
Period, quotes.
Quote.
Quote, space quotes.
Yeah.
Wait. So period, quote.
Yeah.
Then space quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
28.
28. Hit it, Sam.
Capital A and capital E said to him, comma, quotes, capital, you have answered rightly, comma, do, capital,
Comma?
or period, sorry. Capital, do this and you shall live, period, quotes. Capital, but he, comma, wanting to declare himself righteous, comma, said Yehoshua, comma, quotes, capital, and who is my neighbor, question mark, quotes. Capital, and replying, comma, Yehoshua said, comma, quotes, capital A, a certain man was going down from capital Jerusalem to capital Jericho, the funky H, comma, and fell among robbers, comma, who, comma, both stripping and beating him, comma, went away.
Comma?
Yeah.
Beating him, comma.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Rest of my column there. Alright, I'm going as fast as I can, little Suzy. Okay, what is it? What's the fix?
Semicolon, needs a comma.
Where?
Beating him,
Beating him.
comma.
Him, comma.
Went
Okay. Away, leaving him half dead.
away, comma.
Went away, beating him, went away, comma, right.
Leaving him half dead, period.
Yep.
Quotes, capital and by coincidence, a certain Kohen of the funky E was going down that way, comma, or period. Capital and when he saw him, comma, he passed by on the other side, period. Quotes, capital and likewise a Levite, capital Levite, the funky E also, comma, when he came to the place, comma, and seeing, comma, passed by on the other side, period. Quotes, capital, but a certain capital Shoronite, comma, journeying, comma, came upon him, period. Capital, and when he saw him, comma, he had compassion on him, comma, and he went to him and bandaged his wounds, comma, pouring on oil and wine, period. You pour wine on wounds?
I don't know.
Capital, and having placed him on his own beast, comma, he brought him to an inn, comma, and looked after him, period. Quotes, capital, and going out on the next day, he took out 2 pieces of silver, comma, gave them to the innkeeper, comma, and said to him, comma, quote, capital, look after him, comma, and whatever more you spend, capital, I shall repay you when...
Spend, comma?
No.
Okay, whatever more you spend, I shall repay?
Okay. Capital, I shall repay you when, capital, I return, period, quote.
Okay.
Quotes, capital, who, comma, then, comma, of these 3, comma, do you think, comma, was neighbor to him who fell among the robbers, question mark, quotes. Capital, and he said, comma, quotes, capital, he who showed compassion on him, period, quotes. That, capital, then Yehoshua said to him, comma, quotes, capital, go and do likewise, period, quotes. Capital, and it came to be as they went that he entered into a certain village, period. Capital, and a certain woman named capital Martha received capital him into her house, period. Capital, and she had a sister called capital Miriam, comma, who also sat at the feet of Yehoshua and heard capital his capital word, period. Capital, but capital Martha was distracted with much serving, comma, and coming up she said, comma, quotes, capital Adonai, the funky D, comma, are capital you not concerned that capital my sister, or not capital my, sorry, that my sister has left me to serve alone, question mark, capital speak to her then, comma, to help me, period, quotes. Capital and Yehoshua answering, comma, said to her, comma, quotes, capital Martha, comma, you are worried and troubled about much, comma, but one only is necessary, comma, and capital Miriam has chosen the good portion, comma, which shall not be taken away from her, period, quotes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, everybody. That is it. If you ever make it to the end of this, give us a comment, and we will call you guys a legend. We are out.